Hello, and welcome to another episode of Scavenger Life. This is episode 501. We're on the other side of 500.
And it's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh,
right?
happy Valentine's.
Yeah. Okay.
It is. Oh, today is Valentine's Day.
It is.
I completely did not.
Happy Valentine's
Oh, yeah.
Day.
Will you be my Valentine?
Of course.
Oh, great.
Okay, I wanted to talk about the sounds of existential dread.
Oh, the sounds of it. What does it
I
sound
feel like you caught me a couple times recently groaning.
What?
And I wanted to make clear that when you hear that,
or sighing. Oh my God, the sighs, the stress sighs.
Yeah, I just want to be clear though, it's not really. I think it's not really existential dread. It is more. I relive stupid things I've done and said in my life.
Wait, that's what you're doing when you're sighing?
Yep, as if.
What?
As if they're actually happening in real time.
Oh my God, why are you torturing yourself? It's just like...
Does that not ever happen?
Oh no, everybody does that.
Okay.
Every single person in the world.
Like I'll be brushing
You're like,
my
why
teeth.
did I say that
I'll be brushing
25 years ago?
And think of something I did when I was like 16 years old. And I'll just be like, oh, I'll be like, ooh.
Oh my God, why did I do that?
And the older I get, the more of those moments I have to relive.
Right. You're like, it's compounded by my age. Yeah. So, what?
But,
oh my God. I thought you were sighing because you were like, I got to make sure the drywall guy comes and like finishes the basement of our building.
So the sighing is probably more like that. Where
okay, because like, that's why I'm sighing.
Where I'll just be like, whew. You know, where it's just because I'll just be like, all right, there's a lot going on, and I'll just like focus, and I'll be like, okay, we can do this. Whew, it's gonna be a long week, you know.
Yeah,
but it's good. We're gonna do it.
Which is exactly.
I think the right kind of groaning, the like, ooh, where I'll be in the bathroom and I'll be like, ooh. That's I mean that's like I'm reliving.
It's alone time.
I'm reliving a moment I don't want to relive.
That is the craziest thing. Like I can't believe you like physically are like cringing out loud.
Because it's so real.
Oh my God. Well now we gotta hear one of them. It's like you're gonna leave us all hanging.
They're too
just like not even want to say them out loud.
All jokes aside.
Yeah.
Okay. The good thing is,
yes,
they aren't in my brain 24 hours a day. So if you ask me, name one.
You're like I can't think of it.
I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, right.
But if I'm just brushing, it's my teeth, it pops into my brain. I'm in the moment. I'm like, why am I here? Oh, and then it's gone.
Oh my God.
I will say.
Can anybody relate?
I will say that I also understand. It's, it's not a deal breaker. It's not like some horrible thing. Embarrassment is like the price of entry for doing anything, one way to avoid embarrassment, like future embarrassment, because I keep having these moments in my life. Like last week, I'm sure something happened that I will relive in the future. But, if I don't let myself be in those moments where, and the embarrassment happens because like I'm doing something that I wasn't prepared to do, or just I didn't understand the situation exactly. Right. And then I realize it and I'm like, that's what I inappropriately acted, or I made the wrong choice, or I said something that I probably that could have been said better, Right. But, it's not like a bad thing. It's just like it's a mistake.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
No, I just thought of one.
Oh yeah, that you did.
Well, it wasn't. There's
that I did. Or
no, not you.
Okay.
You're like, oh God.
I don't want to talk about anything I did.
No, like It wasn't. It was like when you're really young and you say something and people laugh at it, and you're like, why did they laugh at that?
Right.
And you're like, oh, I kind of know why they did, but it was also like kind of mean of them.
Yeah.
Like we had just moved from New York City. Okay, picture New York City if you've ever been there, anyone. And then we moved to San Francisco, which is literally the polar opposite. It's like so different. Like everything is so different. The mindset of people's is different. The weather, the architecture, everything is so. And I'm from the East Coast. I'm from Boston. So Boston and New York, they're like these cold, harsh, whatever.
East Coast.
Yeah. So then you go to this San Francisco where there's like amazing millionaires on every corner, and you're just like, what the hell? And I remember saying to this group of women, actually, they were like, oh, what do you think of like San Francisco or whatever? And I was like, it's so different than New York. And they all just started laughing at me. Like, not even like, oh, we know. They were like looking at each other, laughing. Like, I can't believe she just said that. And I just remember being like, what did I say that was so weird? And it was just like, I was like 24, 25 years old, and it's the first time I've ever like been to California, and I moved there, and I'm just like, it wasn't the first time I've been in California, but
you were like wearing all black.
No, like for real. I just was like, this place is like an alien planet to me.
But
they laughed at me.
That's a good example where it's something, I rethink things. And again, over time, they just become so much more clear. Where I was being honest in that moment.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know.
I was like, this is just like what I'm experiencing right now.
Probably just being too.
Anyway, that was my. Well, it's one of those things where, also, like for me, a moment like that, like because like you said, as you get older, so I'm almost 42, and I'll meet people that are that age. They're like. We know like
who are what, like
23, 25,
right.
And they'll like say something, and you're like, oh, if you only knew. Like you're just like you're so young, And I'm sure those women, they were probably in their 40s, and they're just like, oh, to be 24, to just not even know anything.
But the thing is, though. It doesn't really matter because if you didn't go to San Francisco and have all those experiences.
I love San Francisco so much. Yeah. So, Anyway.
Yep.
That's an interesting way to open the El Podcasto.
But those are the things that also wake me up in the middle of the night. Like at 4 a.m., I will wake up in the middle of a moment where I'm embarrassing myself 20 years ago.
Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy?
We need some, look, I am, recently, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I just wake up at, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I just am I think it's because we have a lot of stuff to do. And I'm like...
What happens?
I'm like, I have to do stuff. Yeah. I have to get on my computer for, 4 hours. And, I went to sleep again at, 6:30 this morning.
Really?
That's why I'm exhausted. You look at me right now, I'm like, what am I doing right now? I don't know. Because I'm exhausted. But I just, there's so much stuff that should get done that I'm like, there's not enough time in the day. But it's fine. I feel tired and a little bit stressed, but I feel pretty like we always say, it's our own, it's not like I have a boss who's like, you gotta get this done. Except you, maybe you're kind of like that, but sometimes. But
you
there's
need discipline.
Come on, you gotta go polyurethane that cabinet in the cafe. If you don't do it, it'll never get done.
It's about lists.
Which is true, because I am gonna go do that, but.
It's fun.
Yeah, there's just a lot. I think also, with this cafe that we're trying to open, we all four of us, have a vision for, the perfection that we want to strive for. And it's, so hard to get there.
It takes work.
It takes a lot of work and a lot of decisions and a ton of decisions. So.
Anything worth doing takes a lot of work.
Is that the saying? That sounds like a cheap version of this.
I just made that up.
Yeah.
So last week had been our 500th episode. And I was very
100th.
no big deal. Like, let's not even talk about it.
I know, you're so weird.
I will say, and you kind of know this, I don't celebrate well.
Yeah,
you know?
even though you said Happy Valentine's Day, and I didn't even know it was Valentine's Day this morning, so...
I'm getting better. And it's because I think I have like a PTSD from growing up when, for me and my family, anytime there was like a holiday, it was all about fighting.
What?
Like...
Birthdays?
Everything. Christmas.
People would fight on your birthday?
Anytime. I mean, it wasn't specifically because it was an event, but because it was an event.
It was stressful.
It's like we're all supposed to come together, and anytime my family came together,
they're like...
we just fight. So actually, I remember this when I was about 10, we just stopped celebrating everything.
Anything? Even Christmas?
Yep, no holidays, birthdays, nothing like that. And it was actually, honestly, for the better.
Better, right. It really gets better.
And you mean, and like now when we go anywhere and we're around families.
Yeah.
And now it's people our age that have kids.
Right.
It's like we're now the parents' age.
Yeah.
And I see people happy. I kind of don't believe it. Like, I don't believe that
you're full of it. Come on.
I'm like, how are you guys like that?
Well, I think also for us, we just kind of decide how we want to celebrate and when we want to celebrate. Like, you know, we're not like, oh, well, today's Valentine's Day, so that means I have to get you some chocolate or whatever. Right. I'm just like, if I feel like doing that at any moment during the year, I just do it.
But
you know what I mean?
Here I'm going to do my celebration in my own way.
Yes. Okay.
I want to shout out to everyone out there who shows up and works.
Yes.
I'm very grateful for them, and I'm grateful that we've been able to build a business and work for ourselves. You know, waking up without an alarm clock is really the sweetest.
It is
reward.
The best, especially when you stay up from 3 a.m. to 6:30.
So, I mean, I'm sorry that that happens to you recently.
Sometimes,
but it's nice that you could have slept till 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
today.
I could.
If you want. I mean, you know, that it's not like we have to jump out of bed, you know.
Right,
And I love that we can solve our own problems in our own way. I think that's one thing, like with this cafe, because we now have two partners.
Right.
We can't solve every problem in our own way because someone else is involved. So it has to be...
Someone else has a different perspective.
I like choosing what to do with my time every moment of the day.
Yep.
I really... I love that, where, you know, it can be like a Tuesday and I'm doing a one thing and I'm like, this is boring to me.
I'm going to do something else.
I got plenty of more stuff to do.
Well, it's like, just as an example, real quick, that's a really good example. When we're supposed to do something, you know, we were supposed to go to IKEA a couple of weeks ago and something happened. Oh, they weren't in stock with something. And I was like, I have a list a mile long of other stuff to do. It's not like when we see people who have jobs, they're like, well, it's my only day off and I have to do it that day. So I love that freedom too, where I'm like, well, these are the things I need to do today, and 3 of them might not even get done. So they're there.
It's nice.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm glad that our story on this podcast has been able to help people.
Yeah.
Or at least I hope it does. Or at least...
people say it does.
Gets people through a work day if they do eBay or whatever. But, you know, honestly, though, everyone has to figure out how to make it work for their own circumstances. And that's why we don't do classes and workshops and all that. Because really, like, there's kind of a simple way to do all this stuff, but then you have to figure out how to do
what is it for you
in your own life, and it depends on how much storage you have, if you have a family, if you have a job,
what part of the country you live in, do you have a car,
right? So many things.
Yeah, exactly.
And I will say, I've said it before, how we're like independent and all this stuff, and really at the end of the day, we're really not independent. I mean, we may run our own business, but like we count on so many people in our day-to-day lives, you know.
Yeah.
I count on the dentists who we know and the hygienists.
We just getting our postcard to go get our teeth cleaned.
Who cleans our teeth. She's like so mean to our teeth, but it's so good. I mean, the people that work in Walmart who, you know, because we go there all the time to buy stuff. Yep. You know, the guy that like drops the pallets of coffee at our new business, he he comes every couple weeks and backs up. And
Mail
loads up.
carriers.
Yep.
Our FedEx driver, we actually know him personally,
Yep.
like from town, and we're always like, "What up?"
All the skilled guys who keep things working in our rentals. Like
Yes.
after this podcast, I'm going to go meet our buddy Israel, who's going to help me fix a leaky sink.
And now a second leaky
Two
sink.
leaky sinks.
There's so many leaky
and
sinks.
he's willing to do that on a Sunday on Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
So,
thank goodness.
So,
His wife might not like you, but
right. Well, she'll like my money.
That's right.
But we couldn't have this
Right.
life that we had without all these people.
Absolutely. Like our cleaner is coming to clean 2 places today. Like, cannot live without her.
And then, I think, well, what do we really provide the world? Like, what if this is my life here? Like, what am I providing? So, we oftentimes save items from being thrown away. I think that's a big deal.
Oh, we save a lot.
Yeah.
Like I have a whole warehouse full.
So that's good. We take the time to identify them.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of knowledge, or it's more than we did a decade ago. So
Yeah.
we can identify these things. And then we can get them into the hands of people who can either appreciate them or use them,
Yes.
I think that's important. We've created 3 spaces, these houses, apartments, for basically urban dwellers to come and relax in the country.
Yes.
Out of their busy, crazy schedule of work and make memories with their families.
And it's really cute because they'll leave us little notes and they'll send us pictures and they'll be like, "We had the best birthday where we didn't fight." Jay.
That's right.
Yep.
And with this coffee shop, we're creating a local space so our town has a place to gather.
Yep.
And enjoy a good cup of coffee.
And snacks.
Yeah. So that's my existential, how I get it all into a little shoebox.
Yep.
And that's what I think we've achieved after 500 episodes.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I want to take a nap.
She's like, okay, that's too much. Anyway, so let's talk about eBay. Because that's been the core of our business. All right. So I had said that I wish eBay would allow, or PayPal, it would allow us to put our credit card
for shipping.
Do shipping.
Yeah, shipping.
And we got tons of people. That reminded me something. It has always been possible where you, in PayPal, you have a credit card as a backup.
Yeah.
And if you empty your PayPal account,
it does the credit card
before
backup.
you ship, then it pings your credit card. However, there were some people in it wrote down Paul here, but other people had said it too, that there's actually a way to do it where you can make PayPal charge your credit card without having to empty.
Really?
We even tried this. I don't know.
How's that?
I don't know if this is new, but I've never heard of this. And it's on on our forum, people say. But in PayPal, you click on the settings gear symbol, okay, at the top right after you log in. Mm-hmm. Then you go to payments.
Okay.
Then you go to automatic payments.
Okay.
Then you click on the link for eBay Inc. shipping.
Right.
Then you click on eBay shipping.
Oh my God.
Then the link and the detail will allow you to change it to be a credit card.
But so if you're using eBay managed payments, how is this applicable?
That's a good question.
Because I think you can switch it. You can say, don't use my balance for shipping, use PayPal. That must be why.
Right. So
God, it's so confusing. It makes my head hurt.
So I don't know.
eBay!
Again, I don't know if that's something new, but I have never heard that. I had always just heard the thing where every time that you printed a label,
you just empty your
you had to empty your
Which
account.
actually, look,
you don't have
to be honest, having an empty PayPal account recently is not hard because of managed payments. Because, I don't have any money going in there.
Right. However, we did have a problem where we had our bank account backing up one of our PayPal accounts, and like there was a refund or something.
No, I paid my eBay fees through PayPal,
and it pinged a bank account.
Because this was an account that's not on managed payments.
And then and it pinged a bank account, and we didn't have the money in there.
And it was like a negative.
But I switched it over quick, and because it's a local bank, we called in. It was all good. But anyway,
yeah, but still, it was like
the web of
payments.
of transactions.
I'm like, it's like pass through payments.
Okay, let's do our numbers. Yesterday, just to be clear, we had a $700 day. Which
was on a Saturday, so that counts for this week, right?
And it was like a bunch of weird
it was
stuff.
So...
It was great.
I just all day, I was like, what is going on?
So, I don't know. It's good news. Okay, so we sold 39 items.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a whole lot.
Yeah.
But our average selling price was $46.
Yeah, that's what we want.
So we grossed, including eBay fees, shipping, and taxes, $2,348. And 41 cents.
Ooh,
that's gross. It sounds good, right?
You're like,
wow.
Okay, and now here's the kicker.
Take away all the fees and shipping and taxes, and we made about $1,800.
That's not bad.
Not bad. Kitty.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
He's saying kitty because there is like this cat who always sits next to us when we eat, and he's just like being so cute. We're not eating, obviously, but
he's we call him a forest cat because he just came in from a forest 6 months ago or something.
It was in August. He just showed up on our back porch and just like plopped down and was like, I live here now.
He's such a sweet old boy, though.
His name literally is Old Boy.
Oh,
he's so cute.
Anyway, so that's good week. It was annoying to pack, right?
Yes, you know why? I'll tell you why.
Like,
because it was all like big. For some reason, I'm like, how many ceramic / porcelain large platters am I going to sell? Like 4. And I'm talking between 14 and 20 inches. Like that is not a small thing.
And sending them to Australia.
Oh, 2 of them were going to South Korea. One was going to Tasmania. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. So pulling out of the trash in the States.
Yeah.
And then
going overseas.
And I will say real quick before we talk about things we did sell, tomorrow in the States is a shipping holiday.
It is a postal holiday, and I will say I am bummed because yesterday I had a sub on my route,
right,
and they didn't pick up my boxes.
So I think I know what happened, and I don't blame her. Our regular carrier, she's a smart lady. She saw that it was that icy.
It was a horrible day yesterday.
It was like an ice skating rink out there.
It was literally an ice storm.
And she probably was like, I'm calling in sick. And then the substitute, and she didn't know to like come and get stuff on her porch.
I don't blame her. I think that's why.
Okay, things we sold. We sold $200 of pencil leads.
Oh my God.
What a great sale.
Yeah, pencil leads.
We were still eating.
Yeah.
Off of those vintage
markers
and pencils and erasers that I got like 4 years ago. Eating at it.
$200.
Filling my belly up.
And that was a deal.
Right.
He was like, I want all 10 for $20 each, free shipping.
And I think we had them up for twice that or something.
I was like, great.
How many of those are still up?
A lot.
A lot still.
Like,
crazy.
If you go back, there's 2 plastic bins. If you go look in there, you're like, how have we sold anything right now? Wow. I think there were 4 bins, so it's down to half. But
we sold an Aerosmith shirt for $90.
That shirt.
Pump.
Dude, that was that. Oh my God. My mom loves Aerosmith. She literally met Steven Tyler like twice because he lives in Massachusetts, obviously. Yeah. But that shirt was original 1989 from like the first tour or whatever.
Yeah.
So cheesy. Oh my God.
I was in high school then, and like no hate towards all those bands, but it was a time before
Nirvana. Let's just say it.
Yep. And it was just when like all these like old bands were all making comebacks. Yes, Pink Floyd,
But
The Who, Aerosmith, and they were all like kind of
Like
putting out
80s.
Eric Clapton. They were like putting out new albums.
But,
and it was so
here's
boring.
what's so funny to me, because I looked at that date.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, okay, Pump came out in like 1988, 1989, right?
Right.
I mean, Aerosmith was on top of their game just 10 years before.
Right.
Like 77, 79.
Sure.
They were like the bomb. And then like 10 years later, you're like, that was only 10 years apart from those two. Like
10 years is a long time.
I know, but it's so weird.
In the music world. It's fine.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's someone is
Yes, they're obviously a fan.
reliving. We sold a pair of shoes for $100.
A pair of Nikes.
Nice.
They were like skater shoes. They were some special. And I swear, we just found those at... Dude, we just found those at a thrift store, like on the shoe shelf or whatever.
And it does remind me, because we really have pulled back from like finding and selling shoes.
Yeah.
Or any kind of clothes. There's such a business in shoes. I know there's a couple people who are part of our group here who they sell mainly shoes, because I mean, you could totally just have a store where you go to Goodwill, Salvation Army, if you buy shoes for $5-7, sell them for $40. I mean, there is a business there. Easy to ship.
People,
It's
and
good.
we kind of did that before, but
We sold a football
yes,
for $125. Not just any football. In a like an acrylic case signed by this high school football team
that were like champions
from
or
like
something.
1989 or something.
1997.
Right.
They were like the regional champions or something.
And it was one of those things that came on a table.
Yeah, looks like absolute garbage.
It would have been thrown away. Who cares about this thing? We took the time and effort to put it on eBay. We've had it for over a year now.
Couple of years, yeah.
And we knew, and the guy that bought it is close by to that school. So, so he's probably like your age.
Yeah, because I graduated in 97, so he might have been on that team.
And so he's like, that's my team.
That was us.
Good. So it goes back to where
$100.
And then he's going to give it to his grandkids, and it's going to be great. We sold a church pew, a 10-foot long church pew.
It's 12 feet.
12 foot long.
I don't know how this person's going to pick it up.
$150.
Now, these church pews, we have a friend who had all this stuff, and she was moving out of her building. And she had all these church pews, and we were like, those are so cool.
Well, we thought we might put them in the coffee shop.
Yeah, but then it just was like, these things are so massive, and they're actually not that nice.
They would take a lot of work to reupholster. Anyway, so I'm glad we have 4. We sold 1.
For the price we paid for all 4.
If anyone wants church pews, give me a call.
Please. I want them out of our building.
And then we sold an art print for $100. Which is nice.
Yeah, it's a poster. Unfortunately, it's framed. And it's, oh my God, 40 inches. But it's framed with plexi.
Right.
Thank God.
But we did talk about
I should have taken out of the
message
frame.
him.
I should actually. I'll message him.
Say it's just plexi, and maybe he would.
He just wants
to redo it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I need to message him.
Scavenger of the week. So, for weeks now, we've come to this point where I'm like, we didn't get anything this week.
Oh my God!
I bought 2 truckloads of stuff
at an auction
for $1,000.
I didn't even know how much you paid until holy moly!
Is that
I didn't even know how much you paid until right now.
Is that a lot of money?
Jesus. You did get a lot of stuff. You were like, I gotta go back because it doesn't fit in my truck.
So there was an auction that I found online.
Luckily, it was local. So it was within very short driving distance.
And
thank God.
There just weren't a lot of people
bidding on that stuff.
So I probably won half of the auction.
You and this other guy won because we know who the other guy was. And I think they were like, it was you and this guy.
And it was table, lots of stuff. There were a couple things that I bid on that was just like one thing.
Yeah.
Like we got an Apple Macintosh Plus.
Yeah, it's a Macintosh Plus from, I guess 1986, and I was correct.
Yep, it was $80.
Which is really funny. So all the components in that Macintosh Plus is going to pay for that whole auction.
I got a Vitamix for about $100. You know?
Yeah, that Vitamix, that'll
are $300-400.
Yeah, exactly, and it works. So I don't have a problem with the price because I know there's really good stuff in there. Yeah. I just am like, oh my god. But also we haven't sourced anything.
I will say too, it surprised me as well, but because honestly, I didn't think I would win everything I did.
I know. You're like, I'm winning all this. Did they have a buyer's premium?
Of course they do. Yeah, 25%? I mean, so basically, it's like after taxes and the premium, it's like 25%. So, but you know, they did help me pack it all. So in our storage, next to all these pews,
I need
out because it's taking up a lot of room. We now have so much stuff, so we can eat on this inventory
for a while.
For probably 6 months.
We're still eating on the inventory from from the summer. It was the summer when you were buying lots. Yeah,
we're just at the end of that, and then actually,
I have so much of
your
that
mom.
Stuff. Yes. Oh my god, we have so much inventory.
We drove down to Florida.
Yeah,
she is now a snowbird.
Yes,
and she actually dropped off a trailer full of stuff that she's been collecting, and she's kind of pulling out of the game a little.
She's getting smaller. She's downsizing her store,
and she should just
she doesn't need
her life.
Look, she doesn't need an entire clothes. She has a lot of clothes. Like, I'm a bit afraid. I'm like, oh my god. Although we have a ton of storage for clothes because we stopped buying clothes.
Right. But she brought books and just so we have a lot of stuff, and it's great,
which is good. That's great.
It is an embarrassment of riches. Yep.
Yes.
Okay, customer issues. We had a pretty good week. I mean, real
returns for color. This stupid thing. Oh my god. You know this is the worst, right? When you pick something up and you're about to ship it and you just know. Like, I just knew. I was just like, it's like this dumb little whatever tchotchke thing. And I'm like, they're going to return this. I don't know why. And I don't know what it is. You're just like, there's something about the questions they asked. And then they were like, I just don't like it. Yeah, and you're like,
It's a little bit not the color.
I don't like it. Oh. I know, they're allowed to do that, but it's just a bummer. You're like, oh.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to the questions or comments that people sent in this week.
Okay, you can call our voicemail line. The phone number is 540-407-8486. Or you can email us an audio file from your phone. Our email is thescavengerlife@gmail.com.
Hey, Ryan and Jay, this is Marcia in Atlanta. I'm calling because I don't understand how to do item specifics for variations. For example, we have a style of shoe that we have in about 7 or 8 sizes. And I don't know how to do item specifics such as the UK size and the Australian size and the European size because the variation table does not include those fields. But this listing continues to be flagged as needing item specifics. Any insights you can provide would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, here's what I do know about variation listings. eBay did recently change them. So when I went in to edit an old, it was a bunch of jackets. We had these like military surplus jackets that all look exactly the same, but they have like 20 different sizes. And I went in to like revise those sizes because I'm like, someone returned one and then I got one of them wrong and the quantity's weird. And eBay hated me. I was like, I don't know what's going on. It like wouldn't let me change anything. So I actually ended that listing and like did a new listing with all the variations. But that being said, I do not know the answer. I feel like you should be able to do different sizes, but I don't know how you can be like, I'm thinking what you would do is each different size, like I'll do my size, for example. Okay, US size women's 8.5 is a European 39, is a UK like 6. So wouldn't that be just like one variation? You're like, comma, comma, comma. That's just one choice.
Right.
Instead of like have you can't have like a matrix of choices.
Yep.
You just have like a drop down.
Yep.
That's the only. But I also want to say there are probably lots of people listening to this who will comment who understand variations.
There are people. So this is totally separate from the person here. So
Okay.
I don't know anything about this person.
Okay. Yeah.
So what I'm about to say is something totally kind of parallel.
Okay.
There are people who are really into variations.
Yes.
And sometimes they're into it because they're trying to hack the system,
God.
kind of. And
Yes.
as a buyer, I kind of hate
so
it.
annoying.
Because people, what they're trying to do
Yeah.
is they're trying to pay for one item.
One listing.
Right.
Right.
But they're trying to shove as many items as they can into that one so they don't have to pay the 25 cents a month.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to save some but the problem is that the variations don't make sense.
Right.
And they're all over the place and I get confused because the items are like so different.
Yeah, I've
like
seen that
maybe
before.
they're all coats, but they're like different kinds of coats. Like to me, a variation is like it's a blue navy wool jacket.
Yeah,
but they're small, medium, large.
Right. There's like 4 different sizes.
Yeah,
I also see variations being abused. Another podcast where I say I bought an iPhone. I upgraded my iPhone because I needed an unlocked iPhone.
And real quick, and we took advice from people on the forum.
Yes.
Who said get the iPhone
SE 2020 version.
Right. So we're all about getting old iPhones, and someone's just like, for like $100 more, you can get like a brand new iPhone. And I was like, what? I didn't even know that they made this. And
I didn't either. So the SE is basically like the new version of the iPhone 5C, right, which was plastic,
right,
and just smaller.
Right.
And I'm like,
that's
not fine.
Real quick, it's not a 5C, but I know what you're saying. I mean,
what was the one that had like plastic covers?
Right. I'm just saying that it's not a 5C.
No, I'm saying it's like that. Right. Like way back when in 2013 or whenever, they were like, here's a cheaper iPhone. And you're like, yeah, okay. But so anyway, Apple basically was like, look, there are people in the world that don't want to spend $1,000 on a phone, which is me.
So let's go back to variation.
Okay, variation. So sorry. Hello. I know. So the problem is when you're like, I need an unlocked, blah, 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 blah phone. Lowest price. They're like, $79. And you're like, this is $79? Let's click through. Okay, I need this size, this color, this whatever. Oh, that's $150. Well, which one's 70? Oh, none of them. They're out of stock up to 70 because that one actually doesn't exist.
They're sneaky, so
it's
you
really
can make
annoying.
A variation that's really cheap to get higher up in the rankings, but it's out of stock.
I don't know how they make it out of stock if they someone buys it or whatever.
Or they just say quantity 0 or something. I don't know.
It's so annoying because then you don't know the true price. You're like, well, how much is this?
Sneaky,
super annoying. Anyway, that's variations. I think you'll be able to figure it out, and I think someone probably will be able to answer you on the forum.
Hi, Jay and Ryan. This is Barbara from Northern California in the East Bay area. I've been thinking about you a lot lately because I know you've had success selling wool rugs for a lot of money. Well, I've been seeing them a lot on Nextdoor. Sometimes they're even free. What I want to know is what types are best to sell? Some of them are like World Market brand or Pottery Barn, or do you think only like fine Persian rugs are the best? And what size? Which ones are what is too large? Would 5x7 be the biggest one that you would tackle as far as shipping? Any tips on the label on the back of the rug? I know it would say wool, but are there any other special things that would make you know that it's a really great rug? And do you wrap them, as I understand it, with cut up poly bags and tape, which sounds like a great idea? And then how do you ship them? USPS, UPS? Just would like it if you could answer those questions because I really want to start trying selling these wool rugs that I'm seeing. Well, I love listening to Scavenger Live. I listen to it while I am doing dishes at night, and I blast it loud. Thank you so much. Take care. Stay safe and well. Bye-bye.
Okay, I'll start off.
Go for it. I know what you're going to say.
Hi, how are you? What am I going to say? No, okay, so I just want to be clear. There was a time when selling old wool rugs was hot. You could make a lot of money. Like, we were finding the raggedy, most run-down wool rugs, and we would put them up, and people would buy them for a lot of money.
Antique.
Right, antique. Right.
Not
sure.
IKEA.
Right.
Worn out.
Right.
Antique worn out.
Right. But, ones where you would go to an auction and they would be selling them for $1 because they're like all torn with holes. And at the time, people were like, who would ever buy these? And we realized like people like that look. Okay, that time is over with. So now modern technology and tastes have caught up, and now you go to IKEA or Pottery Barn, and they will sell you a new rug
that looks like that.
Looks old, where they've like faked like wear. And so anyway, at that point, it's kind of the game's done. I'm not saying you still can make money on wool rugs because I think that they're cool, Everyone should have a good wool rug instead of like an acrylic rug. I think you can make money on it, and my advice would be just go on eBay and start doing a search. So if you're on Craigslist or something and someone says, I have a Pottery Barn 6x9 rug, okay, go to eBay, Pottery Barn 6x9 rug, and just see the price. And if you can get that for $10 and sell it for $100, then you're golden.
I mean, it's so crazy. I can't remember the last time I sold a rug.
Right.
I have this beautiful West Elm 100% wool, like modern pattern, cool color, not too big, not too small. I cannot sell it to save my life.
Right.
And I'm saying
for even $100.
$100. That's how much I paid for it because we used it in one of our rentals, and then we wanted a different one, a different color. And I have it on Facebook. I have it on Craigslist. I have it on eBay. I'm willing to ship it. Can't sell it. Can't sell it. It's West Elm.
Take it off my hands. And it's in great shape. Yeah.
It's a great rug.
I mean, having a rental, we've actually shopped for rugs online, and there are now all these companies like
Rugs USA,
like on Amazon, that sell like high quality, really beautiful, brand new wool rugs
for cheap,
for like $200.
Yeah.
So just the days of where we could get a rundown rug and sell it for like $400 overnight, those days are gone.
Yeah.
But I still think there's a market for it, just like anything. You just have to be willing to store it.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to ship it.
So how I ship them is, you roll them up and you either get really thick, like whatever, I don't know what it is, like 20 mil plastic or whatever.
It's like a black garbage bag.
Like a good heavy duty black garbage bag, and you wrap it and you tape it so that it's like waterproof and protected, and that's basically like a big poly mailer. Yeah. That's what I do. And it just depends on the size and the weight of who will take it.
Yeah.
FedEx ground, UPS ground, USPS.
Yeah. So,
whatever's the cheapest.
I mean, I will say that's a good example of how we have evolved. There's a time when where we were all about rugs.
Yeah.
And we sold a lot of rugs. We are now out of the rug business, and that's just kind of the way it is. And then you go on to other things, and then people find that a market and then flood a market with that thing, and then you have to find something else. Or taste change, and people don't like wool rugs anymore, and then you can't sell those.
Pirate slouch boots.
Yeah, black pirate slouch boots.
I think we started our career on those.
Yeah. We could find, like, there was a brand called Basic. These like pirate slouch boots.
Basic Edition.
Basic Edition.
I think that's a Walmart brand. I'm telling you, I could.
And we could sell those for like $50.
Okay, let's talk about coffee. Cameroon, yo, check it out. What? So we get Cameroon from Vermont.
That's right.
Our friends up in Brattleboro,
AKA your sister.
My sister and her boyfriend.
Yep.
Are coming down. So her boyfriend works at Mocha Joe's. That's where we get it.
And he's going to bring 3 bags of coffee, and that's like 600 pounds in the back of their Prius.
Green coffee, raw coffee, unroasted coffee.
It's delicious.
So we're getting Cameroon back. We still have it, but we're running low. Thank goodness they're coming down to visit safely and socially distanced.
Yeah. And the other good thing is, I don't know if anyone has bought coffee from us, but currently it's very punk rock. It's just like a brown sealed bag
with basically a handwritten label.
With a label where it's either my handwriting or Phil's handwriting.
Or mine sometimes.
Sometimes yours.
Sometimes
but,
mine.
you know, and it's on there. You know, we put a date of when it gets roasted, so it's great. We now have these beautiful labels we are working on.
Almost have them. We almost have them.
But we saw the proofs the other day.
They're beautiful.
So hopefully, and we got brand new bags. So soon, if you buy coffee from us, it's like you're going to get it from a different place because it looks so good.
It doesn't taste like a different place.
It's going to look legit.
It's super slick.
But
it's
anyway,
going to look good.
We hope if you're ever wondering of how to support us, you can support us by buying coffee because that supports us and our two partners.
Yes.
And they're always amazed when people are buying stuff from all over the world or the country. They're like, who are these people in Indiana? I'm like, they're scavengers.
I'm like, we know so many people in Arkansas, for real. So wait, there's a special instructions, like a little, if you're like, oh, can you please grind this a certain way or whatever. Tell us you're a scavenger.
Right.
Because that helps us show.
It gives us a lot of cred with our.
Like, these are scavengers. They drink coffee. They are awesome.
Yeah.
So that's helpful.
Go to broadporchcoffee.com. This podcast is ending.
3, 2, 1, bye.